What is good, everyone? Welcome to today's trade recap of the day. Today is Wednesday, September 24th, 2025. I'm going over today's price action. The two trades I ended up taking. Today, I lost around $11,600 on the day today. So I am red on the week. Obviously, I'm green on the month, but so far I'm red on the week. So we'll see how I end this week, red or green. Hopefully, I don't end it red because I haven't had a red week in I don't even know, this whole entire year almost, bro. It's been a really long time. So we'll see if I can come back. We'll see. But first things first, get into the P&L. Devastating loss. All right, so down around $11,000 on the day. Let's get into it. Okay, so coming into the morning, I think we all can agree, just a very, very obvious bearish bias. I was super confident in this draw. Unfortunately, I got cooked on my entries and I just got stop rated. And let's get into it, okay? I definitely could have played it better. So we'll get into what I did right, what I did wrong, and just some takeaways that we can get from this, okay? So coming into the morning, guys, I did have obviously a very bearish bias. Reasoning for that was because of this 4-hour inversion, okay? So I am bullish until proven wrong at all-time highs. You guys are probably wondering, like you kept saying you're bullish until proven wrong. What made you flip bearish? Okay, so when I say bullish until proven wrong, I mean I'm going to continue being bullish until I see a higher time frame flip in order flow, meaning I want to see a higher time frame inverse, right? So this bullish gap here, I'm bullish here, right? Until we get this close through, then we can be bearish towards this low, then we can be bearish towards this low, right? Then we can start being bearish, but until I see that, I'm going to continue being bullish. But what did overnight session do? What did yesterday's PM session do? We inverted this gap. So boom, I was then looking for shorts coming into today, okay? Then we can go to open, right? So we were disrespecting that gap. We are now respecting bearish, right? So respecting bearish here. And then disrespecting bullish. So this is a sign in bearish order flow, right? So coming into the morning, I wanted to see displacement lower, right? We have 930 open here. We ended up getting this high, and then we got this delivery lower. At this point in time, I wanted to get in on shorts, but of course I need an entry model. I need a break-even spot. I need to have proper risk management, so I can't just be entering shorts just based purely on conviction. At the end of the day, I still need to be managing my position correctly, which is why I have such a high win rate, is because I'm able to manage my position always really, really well. And unfortunately here, my entry model didn't present itself. So unfortunately, I didn't get in on shorts there, okay? Now, I was simply waiting for a price to displace lower and then get some sort of 5-minute pullback and then a inversion out of that, my continuation model, right? So, waiting. Here we end up having a 5-minute bearish gap right here. At this point in time, I was looking to see price respect this and then get a fast delivery. Just one of those days where we'd have like a straight dumpage day was what I was expecting. But we end up inverting this 5-minute gap here. At this point in time, I then wanted to see more of EQ of this range get hit because this was a pretty obvious range. And then we had this gap resting above EQ. So I was like, okay, we could either hit that or we can just do something more obvious than this move because in my opinion, this wasn't that obvious. So I want to see maybe a resweep of this high, something, again, a little bit more obvious. So I was waiting. And then we did something more obvious, being what? We formed a bearish SMT right here. ES ends up trading higher, forming that SMT, still leaving all this trend line. And now this is a resweep of this 15-minute intermediate high. If we are going to be bearish, this should hold. And this is a great sign in bearish order flow because we got this SMT, right? So this should be the protected high here, okay? Now, I ended up entering on the change state delivery entry. I didn't enter on the inversion just because it wasn't that big. It wasn't that obvious in my opinion. And I wasn't missing out on like really anything. I was missing on maybe like 5 extra points, just waiting for a little bit more confirmation. So I waited for that confirmation through the change state delivery entry. We got the entry there on the pullback. Went break even at the internal low here. And then I unfortunately got stopped out of break even. Now, at this point in time, right, this was, again, I am very, very confident in this draw on liquidity, like a very obvious draw. So I was pretty surprised to see that happen. But again, I'm still not flipping my bias down to bullish, right? There's nothing that's really in this price action going to make me flip bullish until I maybe see like this gap here get disrespected. And then even then it's like, I'm not even gonna be trading that because we're leaving relative equal lows here. So it's just still very obviously bearish, right? There's nothing that's telling me here bullish yet. But of course I need to be moving my stop loss to break even just to be protecting my position, right? And protecting and managing my risk. And yeah, so from here though, I was looking to see the PD raise that we did end up creating, right? From that leg. From that leg, we end up creating what? A 5-minute order block, right? This green candle sandwiched in between these two reds. We end up having this 5-minute OB right here. 5-minute OB. So price ends up trading back towards this 5-minute OB, respecting it, right? Hitting this change state delivery again, respecting this 5-minute OB. At this point, I saw this 1-minute inverse, right? So this is where I re-entered into my shorts, right? Because again, this is still my entry model, right? We're still rejecting a key level being on the 5-minute time frame or higher, a 5-minute PD array. We still have a very clear draw on liquidity, and then this is still the highest time frame inversion for rally gap in the leg. So this is still my entry model. I'm not revenge trading. I'm not like FOMO trading, right? This is still everything that I need to see for A plus setup to happen. It's still there, and nothing has been invalidated yet. So I'm re-entering on this short position right here. Okay. Unfortunately, this ends up getting stopped out. I put my stop loss at this swing, and it then runs to my TP. So unfortunate. At this point in time, when I got stopped out, I just got off the charts. I just literally got off the charts. I didn't want to keep watching this anymore. Took a break. I came back later today to film this recap for you guys. But yeah, I mean, I just wasn't really feeling this price action. I was very, very surprised when I saw this not deliver to the draw. I was very surprised when I saw this break even. Like, it was just honestly very horrible price action. Very shitty delivery today. And I just got caught on the chop, and that's pretty much it. I'm happy with how I played this risk-wise, though. I didn't risk too much today. I risked about 0.5%, lost that, but that's completely fine. And then I'm happy on this re-entry. But I mean, maybe in hindsight, I could have waited for something even more obvious, but it's like, you guys just see, like, if you just look at my winning days on trade recaps, you guys know what clean and obvious draws on liquidity are. You know, like, what clean price action is. You know what clean delivery is. And when we have obvious draws, the delivery is just instantaneous, right? We just get very clear, boom. Like, it's just, you don't have to be waiting for like multiple resweeps. Like maybe one, which is like at this high. So this high should be protected, which it was at the end of the day. But ES ended up actually going towards it again, right? Which is just like this pattern here, like this is just like so annoying. So not much I can do in terms of like predicting that, whether or not we'll get 3 resweeps at a high. But yeah, this was the SMT that got formed. I believe it was right here. Give me 1 second. My building's calling me. I'm going to pause this. Okay. So, right, we ended up forming another SMT at this high. And then we finally got the delivery. Usually when we have, this is just something to take away from this, guys. Usually when we have really, really bad price action during AM session, right? It just looks like this. We're just stuck in a literal 50-point range, and we're not moving and we're not delivering to our draw. What happens is 1050 macro will deliver us to that draw on liquidity if the AM session doesn't. So that 1050 to 11 o'clock candle will deliver. So I definitely in hindsight like could have went back and taken like this setup knowing that, you know, the macro will deliver. But honestly, I was just wanting to save mental capital today. Like, I know if I would have came back to the charts, then taken this trade, and then this being a loss again, like this would have just honestly killed my psyche. And for me, something that I always ask myself, and that I want you guys to start asking yourself, is if I take this trade and it's a loss, will I be okay with it? Right? Will I be mad at myself for taking this trade and it's a loss, right? And that's something I'm always asking myself, because, for example, here, I ask myself, if I take this trade and it's a loss, will I be mad at myself? No, this is an A plus setup. I have a clear draw on liquidity and I have a clear bias. Same thing here. No, A plus setup, still my clear draw on liquidity, still a clear bias, still rejecting a key level being this order block here, right? So being that, I know that these two trades I was completely fine with, but trying this short for a third time, honestly, I just know I should have. If this would have failed, I know this would have been more of a situation where it's like bad price action day. Let me just step off the charts, not even try this. But this didn't end up working, right? So for me, it was just more of a psychology thing where I didn't want to put that on the table, just like psychology-wise, I wasn't feeling this. But yeah, maybe if my psych was a little bit better today, and maybe if I didn't take this trade, I might have taken this trade, being it's more obvious. It's in the you know, in that time frame of 1050 macro. There's also a 30-second here that was actually clean. But, I mean, like, internally, this is all very, very clean setups. It's just, like I don't know. It's just very tough to read today's price action, honestly, in terms of like entry models and where to go to break even and all that stuff. So definitely a tough day. Tough day for me. I know a lot of people did bank on shorts. So if you guys did bank on shorts, congratulations. You guys made it out of the chop. But yeah, I mean, I just want to be protecting my position. I want to be going to break even. I want to be following my rules. And that's the most important thing at the end of the day for me, is whether or not I'm following my rules, whether or not I'm sticking to the statistic of my winning model. And that revolves around, still going break even on trades, still, having a clear draw, still following my rules, basically, still having proper risk management and all that good stuff. Okay. So that being said, thank you guys for watching today's trade recap. If you guys want to start copy trading your trades, I'm using 20 accounts right now with Apex, around 3 with Alpha. So like, check out those in the description. We have codes for that. And then also, if you guys want to actually copy those across multiple firms, with like Alpha, Apex, MFF, right, you can use TradeSyncer, which is what I use. And it's really, really helpful. Just copies all those trades. You can start making big boy numbers. All right. But yeah, that being said, links in the description for that if you guys want to check those out. And I will see you guys tomorrow, maybe if I take a trade. If not, I'll let you guys know. And yeah, we still got Thursday and Friday. Still got 2 days on the week. Hopefully we get cleaner price action. Hopefully we can bounce back from these 2 losses. And yeah, that being said, I'll see you guys later. Peace out, team.